especially women who are carriers of babies, basically, they should be aware of their bodies. They should also notice whatever it is that happens to you. You should be able to tell symptoms. And then when you see that you now have AIDS or HIV, maybe before giving birth, before conceiving or after conceiving, immediately go and start treating your baby, because I think there are cases where the baby cannot get the infection if it's treated early enough. So I think that's the kind of awareness that should be spread across. 300 per week is not a small number.
It's not a small number
so,
at all.
I mean, to those who are managing the ailment, maybe they got it without knowing or somebody passed it on to them. Kudos to you people. Continue
spreading
staying
the
strong.
word and not the virus,
yes,
like they say.
Exactly.
Spread the word and not the virus.
Exactly. Thank you very much.
And a final note for relationship, intending married couples, please try to get your test done. And I'm a fan, or I'm an advocate for get 2 or 3 options done. Enough of, is our family doctor. Go to another hospital, check your hepatitis A, B, HIV test, blood group, fertility test, all of these things.
Genotype.
Genotype, blood group, all of these things. Take it very, very serious.
DNA. But
let's go to the punch newspaper.
No, taking it through the Nigerian Tribune. I have the Nigerian Tribune this morning. The headline reads, "Row in Senate over tax reform bills. Ndume Ningin battle DSP Barao over appearance of Oyedele Zach in chamber. The bills will ensure sustainable economic growth," says the Tax Reform Committee chairman. Below that, we have the story that reads, "CBN fixes $100,000 minimum trade for banks on Forex platform." And Senate screens Oluyude, says COAS. Supreme Court bars Njoko from parading himself as ABGA national chairman. Another story reads, "I created more states to erase fear of northern domination," says Gowon. Adeleke says, "I have constructed over 120 kilometers of road within 2 years." He also says, "My administration did not obtain any loan." Another story, but not the least story, says LNG Shell starting arbitration hearings with Venture Global, says CEO. The picture that I'm seeing here is of Tinubu, our President Tinubu, and Oluremi appearing in France. I might not know the full details of what's happening there, but it's great to see you alive, sir. I'll just say again that go on saying that he's creating more states to erase the fear of northern domination. It's just another charade that people always try to be. I think over time we've heard of the northern domination, northern domination, northern domination. While that I can agree that is true, they want their positions to stay their positions. They don't want any other person to take over that position. While they will not tamper with your own position, it's very key that you also don't mess with theirs. But then creating more states in our current Nigeria, we're still trying to manage 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, and we have not been able to manage resources, create enough food and life for civilians. Now we're creating more states where people will now say that I used to be from Ondo, now I'm from Ondo town. I used to be from Oyo, now I'm from Oyo State.
Not from Ibadan State.
Yes, I'm from Ibadan State. So I feel like creating more states is not actually what we should be going ahead for in Nigeria. What we should do is now manage the states that we have. We are trying to create some form of unity and promote that. So creating diversity in states, again, is almost like I don't know where you are from. You're coming to live in my community and all of that. So I don't agree with
it. Just takes us back to misplaced priorities. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, we literally leave the important things and we just jump.
Please, let's look at the New York Times.
All right, so there's really nothing fascinating on the New York Times, but I'll quickly read out the headlines. So just in case any of the headlines you find fascinating, you can go check them out on their website. So by the right side of the newspaper, we have Judge declares CT in contempt over Rika's ill. By the left side of the newspaper, deal for Gaza still regarded as a long shot ceasefire in Lebanon, as the analysts say. Middle of the newspaper, China sharpens weapons for possible trade war. Next to that, influencers aid industries fight to save plastic. Beneath that, China releases 3 United States inmates in an exchange. Next to that, which is the last headline on the newspaper, says, among roadside giants, a Tom struck supreme. And that's all I have for you on the New York Times.
Thank you very much. And that's what we have for you on the headlines across the globe this morning. We'll go on the break to return with our guest, a very beautiful guest. Please don't go anywhere.
Another is here. God's agenda for 2024 is wisdom. Wisdom is the principal thing that makes things work. Everybody needs the oil of wisdom. The challenges are changing dimensions. So the wisdom to deal with them must keep changing dimensions. It's time to get wiser.
God terminated 8 years barrenness in this exalted altar.
I get back to a set of twin baby boys at 50 years after 17 and a half years.
Lord, I need the baptism of this ever-winning wisdom. Shiloh 2024 is December 10 to 15. Thank you, Jesus. Amen.
Life is made up of moments, some that lift us, others that break us. Welcome to Heartlines. This is our space where we explore the beauty, the heartbreaks, and the incredible strength that every relationship brings into our lives. Friendship, marriages, partnerships, and everything in between.
Yes, say yes.
All the connections that shapes who we are today. Every week, we dive into the stories that define us. Stories of love, loss, heartbreaks, and healing. Real life stories from real people, just like you and I. Heartlines is where emotions meet understanding, and where we learn that we're never truly alone. Join me Mondays through Fridays at 9:30 p.m. for Heartlines, where we'll connect with every heart, one story at a time.
You're welcome back to the studio. It's still, thank God, it's Friday edition of Ways Breakfast. As usual, on Friday like this, we'll talk about tech innovations and AI everything in the tech space. But today, we are not talking tech. We're also not talking finance. We are talking about the fashion industry. And the topic for today is how to slay on a budget in this current era. Today we're diving into a topic that's all about keeping your staff fresh and your pocket full, because who says you cannot slay on a budget and still look luxurious and exquisite? In an era where every naira counts, it is very important to overlook and look like $1 million, because without breaking the bank, I mean. So if you've been wondering how to serve looks that scream high class, but your bank account is whispering, calm down, calm down. Then this program is for you. We're going to break down everything you need to know. We're going to also talk about how to slay, how to look good, how to rock the little things you have in your wardrobe and look like the creme de la creme, the 1% of the 1%. And to join us to have this conversation is a vibrant broadcast journalist, a media personality, and fashion enthusiast known for articulate and engaging style. She goes by the name Tamilore Martins. With a passion for helping women express their individual through fashion, she combines her expertise as the founder of Emosh, a brand that offers elegant hair accessories with a knack for storytelling to inspire stylish, effortless look. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, fashion lovers, fashion enthusiasts, men and women that love fashion and like to look stylish. Welcome to the studio with me, Tamilore Martins, our own very fashion icon. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for
Thank
joining
you so much
us.
for coming.
Emoji.
Emoji.
Yes.
This is noted.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming once again.
Thank you for having me.
Today we have a lot of questions to ask. And I have so many questions to ask.
Go ahead. That's why I'm here.
Thank you. So we're going to start with, you are known for an impeccable style.
Okay.
I mean, I've been through your social media page and I see how you've combined colors, how you've rocked gowns, and I'm wondering, oh wow, this is so beautiful. And we need you to first share your tips. I mean, your own personal tips with us. Each time you want to appear on host events or do any of those things, you do best. What are those tips that you factor in before doing all of these things? Because you're stylish.
Thank you. The first thing I think about is basically the occasion. So whenever you are styling yourself for a particular theme, you want to think, oh, I'm going to work or I'm going for this event. What's this event about? Is it more casual? Is it more formal? Is it very girly? What's the theme around that? And that's really what guides me. But you should also note that your actual clothing piece is about 40% of your entire look. The major thing is your accessories. So you can wear a jean and a blue pair of jeans and a white t-shirt, and that is like just 40%. But how you amplify that is through accessories. So whether that's belts, bags, earrings, necklaces, whatever that is, that's what takes it to 100% and like above and beyond.
Accessories. I've seen it before on TikTok where ladies said your accessories is part of your outlook, but I never thought our outfit
It's the
is
center of it as far as I'm concerned.
Center of our outfit.
Because, okay, so imagine what I'm wearing right now with no wristwatch, no bracelet, no earrings, no... Let me point out, if you do not know what to wear, please wear an earring and wear like a big one. So
we've started giving out the fashion hacks. If you do not know what to wear, start by wearing the very big earring.
Yeah. Okay. So it doesn't have to be statement and like very huge, but if it is bigger than like something like like something you have on now can take your outfit from like a 10 to like a 50 in like just earrings. If you notice, especially when you're trying out outfits, especially when you're trying out outfits, if you look at certain outfits first of all, and you're like, it has potential, but you haven't seen it yet. It's when you dress up and you start to add these things that it now comes alive, but start with an earring always.
But I'm so pressed to ask. You've mentioned accessories, and you spoke with more passion about accessories than you have about clothing, which I have noticed. So I want to know if that's what drove you to start Emochi.
Okay, so Emochi is a hair accessory brand. And I won't necessarily say that's what drove me to start Emochi. Emochi really just started from like the lack of seeing what I wanted in the hair accessory space like available. So it first of all started with just me making scrunchies for my friends, but then it now spiraled into it being more functional and like the size I wanted, and not necessarily like being mass produced and like the cheap materials and all of that. But then it has spiraled past that right now. It's more durable accessories that are for the woman that wants to slay at work, a business like she... Okay, so I'll say a hermosa, let me put it that way. Okay, so let me start this way. Hermosa is beautiful scrunchy, and it comes from like Spanish and English. So it's scrunchy and hermosa. So a hermosa is basically someone that is like a go it girl and doesn't really want to bother about her hair, but also wants it intact and stylish. So like subtle elements like bows, like I have on right now, or like scrunchies or hairpins, something that gives her the like clean girl aesthetic, but not doing too much or cheap. So basically, that's it.
So
that's really what spiraled.
Okay, I love that. So let's talk a bit about, I mean, how to slay on the budget, just like the topic says, right? Now, tell me those wardrobe must have, you know, items that I think a lady should have, or a male. Or is this topic just for
Let's
the females?
generalize.
Oh, no, I think it goes to
both genders, right?
genders.
Exactly. So I would like you to tell us what are those things that those you know, items or those materials that you think everybody must have or should have in order for them to, you know, look stylish and.
Okay, so I'll take it from this point.
Okay.
So since we're talking about bookers and ladies, first of all, think about where you go to often.
Okay.
So you can't just add things into your wardrobe. That's when you say you have clothes, but you don't have outfits. So you have to think about where you go to. Okay, do I go to school more? Do I go to work more? Like church. So you kind of look at your major like places that you go to exactly. And then you now look at, okay, what kind of style do I like? Do I like more minimal style? Do I like more edgy, pop? So just kind of, if you don't even know the name of what it is that you like, maybe there is an artist or a celebrity. It doesn't even have to be a celebrity, to be very honest, because you can find styles from your friends that are very stylish. And you just see, I like this. And then Pinterest is your best friend. I rave about Pinterest everywhere. Pinterest is your best friend. So you could just go on Pinterest and ask, style blue jeans with white shirts and all of that. And then you pick elements from that and then say, okay, this is what I have. This is what I don't have. Another thing I'll point out is if you're trying to style an outfit consecutively, by the second time you want to style a particular style for like an occasion, if you feel like you don't have that piece, then buy it. Don't just add things because, oh, I don't have this particular shirt for this look I'm going for. If it happens 2 to 3 times, then go ahead to add it. Because I heavily talk about going through your wardrobe because you don't just want to add and clutter. That's like overconsumption. And you also want to be mindful because you're on a budget. So you want to be mindful that you're spending your money on the right thing and like it will serve you in different ways. I mean, you think about where you're going to and in that line you would say, okay, I have this dress. How many different ways can this dress serve me? Now, a typical example is a gray maxi dress that I have, for instance. I could either wear like a white shirt on this and wear a certain type of like slides, and it looks cool for like a brunch or going to the beach, and I don't necessarily want to like wear shorts. Now, I can style that differently and have a more formal look and have blazers on it, have a belt and have heels. That's a different look, but the same outfit. That's why I talk about accessorizing. It's the things you layer on top of it that really amplifies. That same maxi dress, I can wear it as a mini dress, depending on how you fold it in. I mean, go to TikTok, go to Pinterest. Pinterest, I recommend first. Then TikTok is after you've seen what you like on Pinterest, and then check TikTok.
Yeah, that's why I got a couple videos of ladies styling dress. You see videos of how to style your scarf to make it a top, how to make your shirt, fold it in, and
the possibilities are
beautiful.
endless. I'm sorry to cut you. The possibilities are endless when it comes to accessorizing. I found out recently you can turn your bracelet chains, not this type, like the chain ones, to necklaces.
Wouldn't that be too short?
You add like 2, 3, and then you can wrap it, you can wear it like that. It just elongates. The possibilities really are endless when it comes to accessorizing. And another thing I'll say is you can draw inspiration, but you really don't have to copy in totality. I think that's what people forget. It's all about personal style, but we've tilted towards the minimalistic look. Not everybody really can be minimalistic. You need to find what works for you and try and experiment. My aunt mentions this thing and says, not copy, but find inspiration in that particular thing. So if you look at a dress, for instance, you're like, what draws me to this dress? It's beautiful, I do like it, but what exactly stands out for me? So you pick maybe, let's take, for instance, it's like an Asher B clothes, for instance. You say, I like the silhouette of how a fits on her in the bottom side. Maybe it has ruffles, or it accentuates her waist and the hourglass feel. But then you're not really feeling the top. It's fine. You can find inspiration for the top of the outfit
Separately.
from a different dress, or you can even be creative. The possibilities really are endless. You can find inspiration with this plant and say, oh, you want a dramatic top, for instance. Just be open to try new things and just find inspiration from different things.
Interesting. We're talking about the current era we find ourselves in, where to buy a short bob Vietnam bow straight or a normal SDD will cost you some thousands of naira. I'm talking about 150, 180 to buy a decent one. Except you want to buy like the ones you and comb would be like enemies, right? So all of these things cost a fortune. And you cannot be packing your hair every day. When it comes to hair, I mean, I don't have idea of what to do with my hair part-time. I'm always exhausted. Or do I make cornrows, or do I wear a wig, or I'm just tired of rocking my hair.
True.
And then it's more, for we females, it's not just your hair. You're particular about your hair, particular about the shoe you're wearing or the slippers you're wearing, particular about the pants, trousers, or the gown, or this thing.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot. Have you not woke up early in the morning before and you just get wondering like, gosh, what on earth am I wearing today?
I feel like it happens.
I coined out the word for a wardrobe malfunction. When there's wardrobe crisis or wardrobe malfunction, I just pick up anything I see and I say, okay, nobody's looking at me. I know a lot of people are looking at me, but that day I decided not to care.
I know, exactly.
How do we stand strong and stay on top of things like this?
Okay, so let me start with
Would
the
you
hair
like to
thing.
hold your thought, please? We need to go on this break.
Not a problem.
Thank you very much. Viewers, I'm very sure you're enjoying the conversation, right? This is where you get to bring in 1 or 2%, send the link to 1 or 2%, and start dropping your comments. We're going to go on this quick break. We'll return to continue the conversation, how to slay on the budget. Please stick around.
Another is here. God's agenda for 2024 is wisdom. Wisdom is the principal thing that makes things work. Everybody needs the oil of wisdom. The challenges are changing dimensions. So the wisdom to deal with them must keep changing dimensions. It's time to get wiser.
God terminated 8 years barrenness in this exalted altar.
I get back to a set of twin baby boys at 50 years after 17 and a half years.
Lord, I need a baptism of this ever-winning wisdom. Shiloh 2024 is December 10 to 15. Thank you, Jesus. Amen.
You're welcome back to the show. It's still Ways Breakfast on a Friday morning, and today's conversation is centered around fashion. What we wear, what we look like, how we appear, and how to look stylish on a budget. I will still have our guest here, Tamilore, a fashion icon, a CEO, founder of a fashion brand, and a broadcast journalist. Before I went to that break, I asked her a question around how to avoid wardrobe malfunction days. Days where you wake up in the morning, you don't know what to wear, or maybe the clothes you have in mind is not looking good that particular day on you. How do you avoid being frustrated? Because on days like this, you're already tired. Before you left your house, I feel like I don't look good. And the first thing to kill someone's morale is not looking good from the inside.
Sure.
So help us on this.
Okay, so the first thing I would say and heavily mention is, you know how I mentioned about where you go to more often and you picking your own personal style. Each particular style, whether it's the pop, is the street, is urban, whatever it's coined as, has foundations. So the minimalistic look is very straight cut, very tailored, very shaped. So let's take, for instance, that's your style, the minimalistic look. Your foundations typically will be a proper tailored pants or like a palazzo pant and a white shirt or a solid colored shirt. So on days where you don't feel like, and you have to go to work, on days when you don't feel like you want to be as creative or you really don't know what to style, you feel like you've won everything, you can't start with that. Where if you've been wearing black the entire week, you could wear navy blue. So it's the tailored pants and a shirt, and then you just build from there. So if you want to add a belt, you want to wear a blazer over that, maybe because of the weather or how you're feeling that morning, you can go ahead to wear that. Another thing I would say, maybe you're going to a class, for instance, and you're a student, guy or girl. Let me even make an example of a girl, for instance, sorry, a guy, and you're going to class. Typically, I don't think boys have issues when it comes to fashion for the most part, except you're going out for like an event and you want to like a date and you want to be extra. A typical jeans and shirt works. But another thing I want to point out is understanding your body shape really helps in terms of styling.
That was actually my next question. I just wanted you to land before I now start asking you questions as regards shape, styles, and all of that.
Understanding that is very important because I can wear a tailored like pants and a solid colored shirt and you can wear the same thing, but how it sits on our bodies are different. But it doesn't also mean that you can't wear a tailored pants and solid colored shirts. You just have to wear it in a different way. So I have like the inverted triangle body type. So I have a narrower bottom and like a wider shoulder. So I won't tilt towards wearing like skinny jeans or like more slimmer fitted tailored pants. But she could get away with it potentially because it feels like your body balance is like top and the bottom, right? So I would wear more palazzo type wide-legged pants, exactly, but it's still tailored and it's still in that same category. But another thing I wanted to mention that you started with is when it comes to styling yourself and also adding things to your wardrobe and accessorizing, never compare yourself with people that have accomplished things. So, and you can get really drowned out and want to say, oh, because this person is dressed a certain way and they are probably in the same age category, but maybe you are just finishing school and the person has been doing maybe social media, for instance, or they have internet money, in quotes, and they are buying HD frontal, bust down, 22 inches. Exactly.
Deep wave.
You don't need to do that. On TikTok recently, I have been seeing so many girls style synthetic wigs and they look as good as human hair, and I was baffled. Of course, there are different grades to clothing, there are different grades to synthetic hair or human hair. Do your own research. But that you cannot slay without spending 300 and something thousand or 100 and something thousand, whether hair or shoes or nails, it is possible. You can still have that same look on a budget.
Okay, so let me go straight to asking about body shape, size, and all of that. On the internet, you find shapes like pear, they say, pear-shaped, apple-shaped, mango-shaped, and all of these shapes put together. But still, people don't know how to identify what kind of body shape that they have. So the internet thing of doing copy and paste is still very prominent, where I know that you wore a slim-fitted top and I'm very busty, and I still want to wear that slim-fitted, knowing fully well that
it won't fit.
It won't fit. But because I don't know my body shape, I'm not self-aware of what kind of things would fit me. Is there a tip you'd maybe give somebody who doesn't know what their shapes look like, to maybe, instead of saying that a thin person would look nicer on a palazzo trouser, what's that one thing that can work for for everybody?
There's no one size fits all when it comes to clothing, to be very honest.
Some pants, for some dresses, you hear one size fits all.
I feel like most of those things are, if you look at it, they are not form-fitting. Like most of those outfits, maybe it's like a skirt. Exactly, it's free size, or it's like a bodysuit or something. But even at that, if like different body sizes or shapes wear it, you can tell a difference. Now, to be very honest, I can't give a tip and say, oh, okay, if you want to have, like, it's custom to each person. And if you still have a wardrobe malfunction, in quotes, in terms of you saw this look on maybe someone that has an hourglass figure, and you have a pear and hourglass are close. Let's use rectangular, for instance. Those people are more athletic. There's no definition to their waist and all of that. And you want to style that same thing. It would not fit you as well. And if you still have that problem, knowing fully well that you guys don't have the same shape, it's no fault of anybody but yourself, because you are not going out there to look for those informations. Those informations are out there. Like I always say, you are one Google search away, you are one TikTok search away, you are one Pinterest search away from elevating your style. So you using it as an excuse that, oh, you replicated the style and it's not working for you, that's not the fault of the person that gave you the inspiration. They give you that style look probably for somebody that has similar outlook, but it's also for you can draw inspiration from that and wear the exact same thing, but like in a different way that would suit you. So it's just you going out to look for that particular, like what fits your body style. There's so many people. Yes, the internet does copy and paste, but the information is the same. I don't think anybody really, so far that I've seen, has lied or tweaked it such that it really doesn't work. There are people and there are brands that maybe they have a particular line and then they show you on different sizes, either different body shapes or different sizes, whether medium, large, or small, or extra small. It's just you going out of your way to say, okay, I want to put in an effort. You can't say, oh, you want to dress better and not want to understand your shape or how fabrics follow on your body silhouette. So that's how I would answer that.
I love it. So let's talk a bit about what exactly makes fashion, right? So if we're talking about slaying on a budget, we need to understand what exactly we are to buy. You made mention of the fact that accessories is what you would, put in that would just take it to 100 and all. Now, let me start with myself.
Okay.
I feel like it's of recent that I started putting on the whole rings and the whole, all of those things. Before now, the only thing I understand that's part of how I should probably look is my lash.
Okay.
If I'm not on this, I'm sorry, I'm not going anywhere. No, let's be for real. Like I would prefer not to even be on makeup. Let me just have my lash on and I'm good. Do you get what I'm saying? So I would want to ask now, what are those things that would, apart from the accessories? I mean, we have nails as well. I don't think there's any time that I want to go for a red carpet event that I don't have my nails on. I don't feel complete. Again, I can go without makeup, but without those things, I don't feel complete. So you see, so I would want you to tell us what are those things exactly, like apart from the accessories. Of course, the accessories have to be there. And again, I see people feel I see people dressed a certain way, and I feel like they're somehow abusing this thing. That's how I feel. Now, like when it comes to being extra, because you're looking at them like, okay, why are you looking so tacky? Why is this here? Why is this here? So, because, I mean, it's one thing to say that accessories are important and all, but when you see some people with...
It looks tacky.
It looks, I'm like,
real.
just rest. Why is all this one everywhere? Do you get what I'm saying? So, I'd want you to put us on it. I don't know if I've been able to ask a question, but I think it's...
No, I totally understand. Okay, so I think I want to walk my way backwards. So the first thing I want to say is with the people that you see dressing very extra and very tacky. Some of them are actually tacky if they break down in structures, textures, and how they came up with that look. Some people's fashions are not for everybody.
Right.
If you check...
That's why we have...
Just like the idea of this alte look.
Yes, exactly. I don't still totally get it, but I appreciate it when it kind of seems calmer than extra.
Right.
So, and because it's extra doesn't mean it doesn't work together. Of course, sometimes less is more, but then because it's extra doesn't mean it doesn't work. And fashion is personal, to be very honest. It is very personal to you. It's personal to me, depending on how I choose to present myself. Because me coming, let's say for instance now, you coming out with this outfit is saying, oh, I'm very colorful, I feel very, you probably felt very bright and excited, and you're like, this will work today because of the energy I want to exude. So it's very personal to you and how you want to present yourself. That's how I would define that. But people also need to understand how textures, colors, balancing of skill of how like clothes fit on your body properly. It's quite tedious if you're looking at it from you want to, and you don't really want to read about fashion and all of that. But there are people out there, content creators, if you Google search them in the videos, maybe YouTube or something, you would find people that would explain this to you and you will get it. If it's something you really want to invest your time in and you are very conscious of how you look, you can't say you don't want to go out and learn by yourself or check out platforms or creators. Obviously, don't listen to everybody. Pick with a grain of salt and experiment. But there are people out there that will teach you balancing. And if you think you don't have a very long attention span, there are shorts, and then there's TikTok. Now, to where to start from as regards to like wardrobe building and all of that, I feel like it depends on each person, like I said when I started with personal style. Because like you said, you don't mind like not wearing makeup, but like as long as your lashes are done. Another person cannot leave their house without an earring.
Right.
Exactly. So, but the major thing I would say is you should always have an earring on. Always have an earring on. But it also depends on what it is that you want to, how you want to present yourself. That's really it. It's all about personal style. So I can't say, oh, there's a foundation or how you should, like what you should have at all times. I don't go out without having a wristwatch on my hand or having something on my hand. I mean, when it comes to like style and fashion is very, I feel like I keep repeating fashion is very personal, but it is. But you find inspiration from different other people. I started doing something recently where I either like have like a mismatched earring or I wear 2 earrings, either on both ears or on one ear. So I have a bow one here and I have a star one. Oh, okay, the other way, bow and star.
Is there a reason for that?
No, I just felt like experimenting. Okay, so it was just one day I had drop earrings and then I saw a triangle one that I had, like silver actually. And it didn't exactly go when I was thinking about it, but I wore it and I was like, this is interesting, and I ran with it. So it's really just you experimenting. I mean, you could have another, who says you can have another hoop earring on top of this one? Right. It's really just you experimenting and saying,
Tamilore, I'd like to ask a more relatable question.
Okay.
Right now, social media space, every clothes now has a name, floral collection. I donate 2-piece. And you know, once they give it a name, it's expensive. 2-piece before with 10,000 naira, 12,000 naira, you'll be able to get a decent 2-piece.
True.
Fine, the economy is kicking in and the price of fabric has gone up.
Yeah.
But I saw an Adire pant that I love so much, like a cargo Adire pant, and she called it for me 25,000 naira for just the pant. I mean, like, maybe because it's Adire collection, maybe it's floral new set or something. So to stock right now is so expensive. And I already mentioned wigs earlier. How do we revamp our old clothes? We can revamp a wig and it will look good. How do we revamp our old clothes? How do we restyle them to still look as good as the first time we got them?
Okay, so let me start from the, like, I'll say ready to wear. That's what I'll categorize them as. Most times, and I say this to anything that you do with your hand, whether cake, whether jewelry, whether clothing, you're not necessarily buying the clothes, you're buying a brand. So the reason why I'll go out of my way to maybe spend X amount of money to buy my, maybe like an atafo, is ready to wear too, is a suit that probably Mr. DG can sew to. But Mr. DG doesn't have a platform. And he's not as known as this is what
not every of this piece will be posted.
Sorry?
Not every of this piece will be posted.
Yes.
So and I don't think I'm a fan of, let me loud because I bought a suit from my Atafo or Vicky James styled me for my birthday. I might not want to post
some
it.
People, some people like it. That's why I say most times when you buy a particular brand that is ready to wear, is really for the sake of, oh, I wore this, like I wore this collection, I wore this name. But if you're not really particular about the name of the brand or you're not invested in their story, you can get the material and have your friend that knows how to sew it for half the price. And you probably give her a very generous tip because she did a pretty good job and still not spend that money that, let's say for instance, you could probably end up spending maybe 10,000 naira that you initially wanted to spend, material, hard working on it and delivering on time. Hopefully, because tailors already have a good reputation.
I like the way you said hopefully.
Hopefully.
I really want to quickly ask about thrifted clothes.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing we have not spoken about
Yeah.
since Bend Down Select.
Hey.
Yes,
Or Krika.
thrifted clothes is
Yeah.
like the thing that everybody says now. I sell thrifted clothes, and then when they post it, you now see for
45,000 naira.
45,000 naira
But
from
thrifted
from Alpha and Omega brand,
God, I
like these popular brands,
Yeah.
but because they are
They are
thrifted,
thrifted.
they're still selling for an overly expensive rate. So let's come down to Bend Down Select. What's your idea of Bend Down Select? Because that is budgeting for some people.
Yeah.
So let me finish with her and I'll come back to
We
the
really
question.
don't have much time.
Okay,
I
yeah.
want
So
to
the final question, what I wanted to say, we were styling basically comes back to what you have. I'm dressing it for different occasions. Like the example I made with that grey bodycon dress. That's with that. As regards thrifted clothes, if you are up to it, I don't think I'm a market person, to be very honest.
I don't understand waking up 7 in the morning to go to Katangwa
It is,
market.
bro, it is not it, but if you have a friend that
Do it.
is down for it, or you have friends that are down for it, by all means, you can still go ahead
Is it a better option?
to go into the market.
Yes,
I
thrifted
genuinely think
clothes.
it is. Except you are all for comfort. I genuinely think it is because you see more things. You can go inside, you discover parts of the market that you've not seen that probably the resellers are the only ones that know because those guys are selling wholesale.
Yeah.
But then you have the opportunity to select, calm down and all of that.
And even
You will spend a
discover
long
your style,
time.
maybe.
Exactly, and discover new styles, patterns and all of that. You would spend time. It's not a case of convenience. It's a case of I really want to get a good deal.
Yeah, right.
But the fact that the price range now, if you do your searching properly, you would still see people that similarly in your price range. I mean, you might have to churn out just a little bit extra for convenience as for delivery and the fact that they went to select and all of that, if you do your research properly. But if you don't mind, by all means, explore markets, to be very honest.
Thank you.
If you go with a friend, it helps. Or a
We should
friend
like
go
also.
and bend down and select
We have
something.
Katangwa markets, we have Aja markets, there are
Aswani
plenty. They are
markets,
on TikTok, you see
Semi-border.
different.
But the funny thing that I found out now is most people in the markets are on TikToks.
yeah.
I agree.
I saw
It's
a
because
particular
we're also
lady that
introducing,
sells
like,
wigs.
everybody's
Exactly.
basically
Everybody is
introducing
trying
them
to
to that.
go digital, which is convenient for us. So you don't want to go to the market and you want to buy like this wig, for instance, or you want to buy a different color. You can go to TikTok and see like maybe wigs in Lagos or something like that. And anybody has used that hashtag or any
It will pop
line,
up.
it will pop up and you can contact that person and have it delivered.
Tam, thank you
Right.
very much for spending time with us.
It was my
I need
pleasure.
to just share your final thoughts on entire fashion and confidence. I can be dressed in a corset and I feel like I'm so stark naked. For me, corset is not like my go-to outfit. I'd rather wear abaya than to wear corset and be firm. Like, what would my amala go through? So just give us one line tip, because we have less than 30 to 1 minute to
No
wrap up
problem.
the show.
Okay, personal style is personal to you, and don't be afraid to try things even if it doesn't look like, don't be afraid to try things even though it doesn't look like, I haven't tried this before. It's like very strange terrain and all of that. But in terms of, reasonably. But at the same time, when you said like you look like you're naked because you're wearing a corset, I feel like from a Christian point of view, I would say do all things in moderation and to the glory of God. So you do not want to be exposing certain parts that should be covered. But at the same time, explore. Check out things. You can't say you want to be fashionable, you want to do fashion and not explore. So check out things.
Thank you. We really have to go. Ladies, thank you very much. Stay fashionable. Know what works for you. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll come your way again next week Monday. Please stay sharp and stay healthy. Bye for now.
Hello, you. Yes, you. This is Usayome Sale from Ways Prime Time. Now, we appreciate your continued support for watching our content, following us across all our social media. But we've noticed, for those of you watching us on YouTube, 88.5% of you who watch our content aren't subscribed to our channel. Why? Now, if you are enjoying our content, you enjoy our shows, and you want to stay updated on all things Ways, it's time to hit that subscribe button below. Now, subscribing isn't just for you. It's for the growth of our channel. It helps us get bigger and better. With your support, we can continue to bring even more intriguing and exciting content. How about you subscribing right now and being a part of our community?